Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Salsabila Draja Fauzani, and I'm from 2021 Class A, and I'm a member of Group 4. Okay, in this video, I would like to explain and answer text 2 about an introduction to language science. Okay, but before we start, let me share screen first. As you can see on that screen, there are 8 questions. Okay. Number 1. What kinds of mental process do speakers go through prior to articulation? The answer is the mental process, including conceptualization, word activation, word order, inflection, and articulation, work together to facilitate the production of meaningful and grammatically correct speech. Okay, number 2. According to the waiver-plus model, what type of representation are activated by speakers before they speak? What evidence support the psychological reality of models like waiver-plus? What observations suggest that aspect of the waiver-plus system may not be present in human speakers? In one question, there are so many part of question. Okay, the answer is according to the waiver plus model. The waiver plus model proposes that before speakers speak, they activate phonological representations, syntax representation, and semantic representation. These representations are involved in constructing and integrating discourse, and they contribute to discourse comprehension. Okay, next. There's evidence supporting the psychological reality of model like waiver plus plus. The answer is experimental studies have shown that speakers activate phonological representation and synthetic representation before speaking. And then the studies provide empirical evidence for the existence and functioning of the representation proposed by models like Weaver plus plus. Okay, the last part of question number 2. Observations suggesting that aspect of the waiver plus system might not be present in human speakers because while the waiver plus model provides a theoretical account of language production, it is important to note that it's a computational model and may not capture all aspects of human language production. Human speakers may exhibit variations and deviations from the predictions of the waiver plus model, indicating that additional factors and processes may be involved in language production. Okay, number 3. But there's 3.1 because number 3, there are so many questions. There are so many questions. Okay, what roles do each of them play in speech process? First, there is conceptualization, word activation. Third, there's word order. Fourth, there's inflection. And the last, there's articulation. That the roles play in speech process. Okay, next, 3.2. What kind of errors do people make when they speak? Usually, people make errors because of phonological errors. These errors involve mispronouncing or substituting speech sounds or phonemes. And then there's morphological errors, involve incorrect word formation or inflection. There's syntax errors, involve mistake in arrangement of words or the structure of sentence. And then there's semantic error, involve using the wrong word or phrase that does not convey the intended meaning. And there's pragmatic error, involve misusing language in social context, and there's speech disfluencies, are interruption or disruptions in speech flow such as hesitation, repetitions, or fillers. Like like that. Okay, the last there's aphasia related error. In individuals with aphasia, language impairment can lead to errors in speech production, such as difficulty finding words, forming coherent sentences, or understanding and using grammarly correctly. Okay, the last there's 3.3. This is the last question from number 3. What do the errors tell us about the speaker's mental process? The inability to produce inner monologue during epileptic seizure and the findings from the Curer experiment challenge the notion that thinking is solely reliant on language production, indicating a separation between thinking and language abilities and suggesting the involvement of other cognitive processes in thought generation. Sorry, okay, we move to question number 5 because the number 4 I have answered that question. Okay, describe similarities and differences between Derrida's spreading activation model and the Weaver-Plus model of speech production. What evidence favor each account? Okay, the answer is both the spreading activation model by Derrida and the Weaver-Plus speech production model feature feedback mechanism for error correction and hierarchical organization of linguistic representation. However, they differ in their emphasis on process methods and representation level. Okay, number 6. Describe the tip of the tongue phoneme. What kind of words are most likely to produce a TOT and why? Okay, the answer is the tip of the tongue, TOT, phenomena happens when a person understands the meaning of a word and its context, but find it difficult to recall the exact word from memory. While feeling that is on the tip of their tongue, individuals in a TOT stage might recall specific aspects of word, such as its first letter, syllable count, or meaning, but they are unable to completely access the word itself. Okay, second, third-time words are more likely to trigger a TOT experience. Typically, those are terms that the individual is less likely to use or is unfamiliar with words with unique or uncommon sounds, difficult words, or words with meanings comparable to other words that the individual is attempting to recall. Okay, number 7. How is speech perceived according to Lieberman's motor theory? What is co-articulation and what role does it play in theory? What is the Antiger effect and what does it tell us about speech perception? Why do some people believe that motor neurons provide the physical or neural basis for speech perception? Is there anything wrong with the mirror neuron hypothesis? Wow, number 7. There are so many questions in one question. There are so many parts here. Okay, let's answer that question. That's all questions. Okay, according to Lieberman's motor theory of speech perception, we experience speech sounds by mentally replicating the actions required to make those sounds rather than examining the sound's acoustic qualities. Second, there's co-articulation. Is a phenomenon in speech production in which the articulators or mouth, lips, and jaw move to generate one sound while preparing to produce the next. This leads the mixing or opera of articulatory motion for nearby sounds. Okay, third, there's the Amtigor effect. Is a speech perception illusion in which competing visual and auditory speech information is perceived as a third paired sound. For example, if viewers hear the sound ba but observe a person articulating ga, they may interpret it as a da. Okay, the last there's motor neurons. According to some researchers, offer the physical and neural basis for speech perception because they are involved in both speech production and reception. Mirror neuron, a type of motor neuron, fires not just when a person performs an action, but also when they see someone else doing the same. Okay, this is the last point, the very last point. The mirror neuron hypothesis processes certain neurons in the brain, known as mirror neurons, fire both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing the same action, leading some to believe that they play an important role in understanding others' action and intention, including speech perception. Okay, the last question. Yeah, we move to the last question. What are the chief theoretical alternatives to motor theory? In the context of psycholinguistics, there are several theoretical alternatives to the motor theory of speech perception. Two notable examples include 1. Number 1. Theory of feasibility. This conceptual framework concentrates on defining the specific muscle activations considered valid for a given motor task, referred to as the feasible activation space. Okay, number 2, there's meaning field theory. According to this theory, the meaning of a word is not exclusively dictated by its linguistic characteristic, but is also influenced by surrounding context. The meaning of a word is portrayed as a field of force that interact with other force fields in the context, collectively shaping the word's significance. This alternative approach offers a new perspective on understanding language processing and contributes to ongoing debates about the best explanatory model for language behavior. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching and sorry for the mistake I made. Okay, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.